After months of keeping this thing bottled up inside me, I have to tell my bizarre story. The terror of what I saw back in March is eating me inside and putting a heavy burden on my shoulders. This dark secret from my brain shall escape through my fingertips on the keyboard and onto the internet. It all started when I went to the mall. I was looking for a birthday present for my niece, but unfortunately, I got sidetracked when I saw an abandoned Samsung Galaxy S6 on the food court table. Without anyone looking, I snatched that phone right up. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't it wrong to steal things? Yes, you're right. But I am the kind of guy you would call a kleptomaniac. I steal things out of curiosity, not for any sick kicks. I wasn't going to use it as my niece's birthday present. She's only 3. And I wasn't going to sell it on the black market illegally. No, I was only going to use it for myself. I immediately rushed home and sat on the bed in my bedroom. I wanted to go through all the apps, texts, and the web history on this phone. Now, you probably think I'm some sort of douche who goes around exposing people's dirty laundry, but I assure you I am not. I'm a simple man. I work a 9-to-5 job, I watch football games with my chums, and I go to church every Sunday. It just so happens that I like to know people's private secrets. Like, that one time I used my friend's computer. I looked through his web history while he wasn't looking and found a bunch of midget porn. If I were a lesser man, I would have exposed that secret to his friends, but so far, I only kept that secret to myself. It isn't for any vain reason that I like to know what people do in private. It's just me being curious. I started with the texts and saw the user had texted to 3 different people: Lucy, Rita, and Michelle. She would give them each the same messages like, "Let's have a tea party," "We should have a dance-off on Saturday," or "Hanging out with friends is so much better than being alone, right?" Great, I thought. I probably stole the phone of a 6-year-old girl. I looked back at the texts and scrolled through them. The previous user texted these girls at least 1,000,000 times, yet they gave no response back. I found that to be quite strange. I scrolled through the texts and found that the user occasionally posted lyrics to Beatles songs, such as Yellow Submarine or Hey Jude. I scrolled down even further and found texts to be even more monotonous and repetitive, as well as childish. More silly events planned, more Beatles lyrics, but no response other than the user, him, herself. I got out of the texts and decided to look through the user's apps. Nothing more than Candy Crush and a bunch of Candy Crush clones. She must really like Candy Crush. Then, I clicked on the Google app and decided to look at the user's browser history. On YouTube, the user had watched a lot of Beatles videos, of course, along with videos of people doing Beatles covers. She also watched a lot of tutorials on how to create DIY projects, especially a lot of Emily Leffler's. There were also videos on how to use power tools and how to make DIY projects with power tools, along with a conspiracy theory video on how Paul McCartney actually died in 1969. Another video she watched was a Spanish short film that was computer animated titled Alma. It was about a little girl who spots a doll in the window of a toy shop that looks exactly like her. When she goes inside to the toy store and touches it, her soul gets sucked into the doll. She couldn't move, she couldn't escape, she could only move her head and look. She was to be forever immobilized in the body of a doll. That short film definitely creeped me out. I mean, was this short meant for kids? This would definitely creep little children out if it creeped me out. Why would the animators bestow such tragic fate on a little girl? Why would they allow that in a film? What happened to that girl was worse than death. Scrolling through the web history, I had seen the previous user had been going a lot on a certain Tumblr blog called Eric's Playhouse. I went to the blog's archive and realized that Eric must be the owner of this phone. I know this because of 3 reasons. 1. A lot of posts talk about the Beatles, a post that consists of fun facts about George Harrison there, a post that celebrates the birthday of Beatles producer George Martin is there. 2. There are a lot of posts about Lucy, Rita, and Michelle, the girls that Eric tried responding to. 3. All the blog posts have 0 notes to them, which means the only person who knows about this blog other than me is the blogger himself. The posts were similar to the texts in that they often talked about some dreamlike adventure with Lucy, Rita, and Michelle without any input from those 3 girls. Here are a few examples of the posts. Good luck, girls. You're getting a new friend. Her name is Eleanor. Keeping it cool in the playhouse as usual. Rita, Lucy, Michelle, and I are going to fight Blue Meanie Menace on Mars. Lucy is scared to go, but Michelle assures her that everything is going to be alright. Intense Phase 10 competition tonight. Does Rita have what it takes to defeat Eric's winning streak? Musical movie night at Ward Cinema. We will watch Yellow Submarine, Interstellar Quadruple 5, and My Fair Lady. These films are considered to be the best films by everyone. Today is Wardstock. First performance will be by the Fab Four: Eric, Lucy, Rita, and Michelle. Second performance will be by the Blue Meanies. Third and final performance will be by the Quarrymen. This year's Wardstock is gonna rock. Maggot infestation in my garage. Gotta have my uncle look at it again. I love my girls. I would be lost without them. I'm pretty sure they would say the same thing about me. Who the hell are Lucy, Rita, and Michelle? Who the hell is Eric? I should have stopped searching for answers and just assumed that Eric was some eccentric loner, but no, I just had to keep scrolling down for answers until I stumbled upon that video. Eric made a video post on December 21st, 2015. I clicked on it, not knowing what to expect. The video was dimly lit, along with poor camera quality, so I could not exactly see the video that clearly. But in the video, I could make out an overweight man with bad acne strumming his guitar to a cover of All Together Now. I assume the man is Eric. He struggled to strum basic chords and sang like a man who was forced against his will to chew on a hornet's nest. But that's not the weirdest part. The weird part about this video is how he was singing like in front of a crowd or something. During his performance, he shouted things like, "Come on girls, sing!" or "You have the best voice, Rita!" even though there was no response back. Then, I finally saw 3 shadowy figures in the back, sitting in what appears to be lawn chairs. They seemed limp and unresponsive, as if they were drunk or drugged. I feared the worst. I hit the back arrow to the archive and scrolled down even farther until I clicked on the post of June 5th, 2015. It was that post, that goddamn post, that has melted away my soul, leaving me mentally broken to this day. It turns out that Lucy, Rita, and Michelle were real human beings, but they were dead human beings. The post was a video, this time with good lighting, of Eric going step by step on how to turn a human corpse into a doll. He goes through the process 3 times for each girl. First, he strips them naked and rubs 2 bright-colored liquids on them. One liquid is to prevent decomposition of the body. The other liquid is a fragrance that makes the corpse smell good. Make sure to rub these liquids on the bodies on a daily basis. Last time I forgot, I ended up with maggots in my garage, said Eric. The second step is to find a lawn chair and place the body in it. Then, he uses barbed wire pierced through the lawn chair and through the flesh of the body and ties it up, connecting the body to the chair. This time, give them a pretty posture, like all pretty girls should have, Eric said. Then, he gouges out their eyes, only to replace them with prosthetic ones. Glass eyes don't rot away, he said. He then goes on to talk about how he has an intense wardrobe for each of the dead girls. He goes out to many stores to buy clothes meant for living girls and puts them on the bodies of the dead girls. Eric then went on to discuss the daily attire he put on Lucy's body, which is pearl earrings, a crimson dress, and long, black high heels. Then, another thing hits me. That girl Lucy, she looks like... No, wait. That is. She was Lucy Ackerman, the missing girl from Chicago. I remember seeing her face on the news a long time ago, and there was this huge nationwide search for her, but now I finally found her, in the worst way possible. I drove my car to the nearest lake and threw the phone in the water. I drove right back home, and in an intense state of panic, I couldn't sleep that night. How could I? I spent the night sitting on the edge of my bed, staring out with big, traumatized eyes, letting that horror replay over and over again in my head. I was in this state for at least 9 hours. I sat so perfectly still and hardly moved, you could say I was like oh God, no. I felt guilt from this situation, like maybe I could have done something to contact the authorities. But would they believe my story? Anyways, I write this today because I just heard on the radio this morning that a 32-year-old Russian immigrant was missing today, and her family has no idea where she could be. Her name was Eleanor Buskavin.